Good morning and welcome. I'm Karen, this is Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. It is Monday. Happy Monday. Yes, I'm going to use the advice from yesterday's sun card and find joy. Being a smart aleck. I am, though. I need to. We are going to use the Somnia tarot today for the reading and clarifying. Straighten things out. Okie dokie. What do we need to do? Current situation, judgment, present influence, 5 of Swords, future influence, 5 of Pentacles, unexpected, Knight of Wands. We had Knight of Wands yesterday, didn't we? Or was it the day before? Challenge, 10 of Pentacles, strength, 6 of Swords. Where does this lead? 6 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and 8 of Cups. 3 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. So we did have 3 of Swords yesterday. I do remember that for sure because it was in the unexpected. So, hang on 1 minute. Sorry about that. So, back to the 3 of Swords. So when I look at the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Swords can be about sadness, hurt, being hurt. It can be about separation though as well. Like literally, physical separation, being apart, physically, probably emotionally too. But it feels to me there, like with the judgment there's a renewal, feeling of renewal. Now it's not easy though, because we've got the 2 5s following that as influences. So there's something that's really just not feeling good. So quite frankly, I feel like there is like some kind of renewal happening. Now, it stems, I don't feel like it's stemming from the 5 of Swords being rough or hard. What I feel like is the renewal is hard and not comfortable, and you're not trusting it. And that's the feeling I'm getting here. So if there's something that's kind of resurfacing that was kind of hard in the past, you're not trusting it right now. That's the 5 of Swords. I feel like that's really what it's saying. And, and then leading to the 5 of Pentacles, I feel like this is saying if you want to do anything about it, you're going to have to do it differently. And I think you realize that. But I'm overall getting that you're kind of hiding from it. You're like, I don't want to even deal with it. I'm kind of like, that's how I'm seeing this. So tell me about this 5 of Swords, please. Wheel, Page of Cups, and 4 of Cups. So, yeah, this is something that's coming back around. Now, I feel like, God, I rarely feel this way, but I feel like the Page of Cups, like, there's something coming in and there's an offer here. But again, the 4 of Cups, it's like, you need to open up your peripheral vision here and not just have your eye on one thing. There's something here that's very much, because again, the wheel is something's coming back around, forward movement, judgment, something like renewed from the past. But to me, I'm not getting a positive, it's not necessarily negative either, because I think this is just how you're feeling and how you're thinking about it. Because to me, your action right now is, I've had my eyes set before, but I feel like you don't want to you don't want to do the same thing over again. You want to learn from what happened. And I feel like that's what's the struggle with that 5 of Swords is. Let's do the judgment. Let's see if that helps us. I think any of you know what this situation is if you're if it resonates. because that's kind of, tell me about the Judgment. There's the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, there is definitely someone coming back in. Definitely with the Ten of Wands surrounded by the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Wands. So this would be probably something's coming back around. Now, what it is, though, is it does strike your passion area, but it has been hard. So that's why the Five of Swords is there. This is just, it's been hard and it's coming back around. It absolutely is with the Eight of Wands. So there's something that's coming back in where you're like, I don't know. You know, you're really not. No, I mean, you're not saying no either. You know that, you know, I feel like you're kind of looking at everything. Again, the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Like, I know I got to do this differently. I feel like in a way, though, you might not want to deal with it right away, but let's clarify that. Let's see what it is. Because my overall feeling is like, okay, I don't want to deal with this right now. I don't want to get hurt again. I don't, I'm just going to like hang out and hide in this barrel. I'm not going to do anything. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles, please. Seven of Pentacles, Hierophant, Ace of Wands. Yeah, I feel like I feel like yeah, there's something like that has been you've been working on in the past. The Seven of Pentacles is coming to an end, right? The work you've been doing, excuse me, the Seven of Pentacles. But the Hierophant kind of is like committing yourself to something. And I feel like you don't know that you want to commit yourself to this. And that's the Five of Pentacles. It's like there's something, an offer coming in. And we had that with the Page of Cups. So you're just not sure. You're very uncertain here. And I think that that's okay. I didn't pull a advice card. Six of Cups over there. So we'll talk about that. So let's look at this Knight of Wands that's unexpected. Now, the Knight of Wands to me can be travel, can be move, it can be energy coming in. It is facing the past, but I'm not getting an overall feeling on that. And I find it kind of interesting because we have the Knight of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Cups, which are all movement cards to me. A lot of them can literally be physically moving, and then the Ten of Pentacles is about home. So there's something here maybe that you're looking at when it comes to move. This could be like changing things up a little bit. Tell me about this Knight of Wands and the unexpected. Death, Knight of Cups, and Two of Pentacles. So this Knight of Wands is energy coming in from somebody that's changed. So there's been a change, and someone's coming in and kind of like bringing a gift of some sort with this Knight of Cups. So it's, if it was clarified with the Knight of Wands, I wouldn't be going here. But I feel like, yeah. And I feel like this is coming in and they're maybe saying, yeah, I there's time now, there's balance now. So that's what why the energy's coming back. It's interesting to me because I feel like, well, you know, well, let's do this. The Ten of Pentacles is in the challenge. I feel like this is about stability. There's something here about this situation that you are not 100% sure how stable it is. And that is what is keeping you from, that's why you have these hard cards. Because you're like, well, this isn't stable. But it, you know, it's one of those things that sparks your curiosity and makes you feel good in the moment. But I get the feeling that you want it to make you feel good on a stable basis, not, you know, whimsical. And that's what the Ten of Pentacles is. It's not necessarily that. Tell me about the 10 just in the challenge, please. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's a new opportunity with this. So given that it's a new beginning and it got the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords does say there's clarity coming in, and the Knight of Wands. So this is about somebody. The Knight of Wands, uh, King of Wands, Knight of Wands down here. We've got the same kind of energy, and even though like okay, you know, a new beginning here, and but you have clarity now, so you're not certain that this is stable enough for you. It's not that you're expecting a commitment. It's just I overall get the feeling that this kind of situation comes and goes, and you're just not like okay with that. Tell me about the Six of Swords. So we have the Six of Swords in the strength, and I like this because I think you're going to know exactly what you need to do. You do know what you need to do. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean move away from this particular situation, but what it does mean is move towards what's going to make you happy. Um, and it could be just dealing with this differently because I get the overall feeling you'll know exactly what you need to do with that Eight of Cups at the end. Tell me about the Six of Swords. Yeah, Seven of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. You definitely, this comes from a place where you have really wanted to stand up for yourself in this situation, whether it be, you know, this absolutely could be work. Doesn't mean it's love at all. Because it feels to me like there's some wonky stuff at work too, you know, we've had that. But I feel like with the Three of Pentacles, the most important thing here is, you know, I've really felt like I've had to really stand up to try to, you know, fit in and be part of the group or part of this relationship or whatever it is. And I feel like that the strength is you know exactly what you want. You know what your dreams are. You want those. That's what you want. Like that's where you want to go. That's what you need. That's what you're headed for. That Nine of Cups. And nothing wrong with wanting to fill your cups. There is nothing wrong with that. Like that's what we should be doing, is heading towards that all the time. We can't let go of responsibilities and stuff, but you know, we should always have that as our goal. Where does this lead? It leads to the Six of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Eight of Cups. So um, I feel like Six of Pentacles sharing. I feel like this is also being at a point where you may be able to feel like you can give back a little bit here. I do feel like the Page of Wands maybe, and we'll clarify it, but I get the overall feeling because that's followed by the Eight of Cups that you're going to say, you know what? You're going to know exactly what you want to do. And the Page of Wands is, I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to do it. Eight of Cups is, I'm headed for where I want to be. I need to move forward. So tell me about the Six of Pentacles first. We've got a lot of sixes here. To be honest, we got the Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and then the Six of Cups over here in our clarifier, which is good too because you're reaching a pivotal time. You know, 3, 6, and 9s are many completions. And I just think two of them being important cards in the minors. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles. There's that King of Wands again, Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. I feel like there's a person that is going to reach out. And I feel like maybe like if there's been something not quite right or something that they're going to reach out to you in a kind way, and it's taken a long time. So I feel like there is room here for conversation and you know, giving back. But I do still feel like you're overall looking at this as how much do I want to give? Because going back to the main reading, you're in a position right now where you're like, man, I don't, this was hard. I got hurt, you know? What is the Page of Wands? So the Page of Wands can be about, so I mean, it can be definitely about messages, especially in this. They specifically show this page as writing a note, but it also can be about just starting something new and just not thinking too much about it and just going in and doing it. not as like the Fool would take more weight in a reading to me, but it's almost that same kind of energy. Tell me about the Page of Wands, please. Five of Cups, Four of Swords, Page of Swords. No, you know what? I think it's a message. Five of Cups, Four of Swords. Hurt, disappointed, healed from it with the Four of Swords. And then the Page of Swords is a clearer picture. I feel like the Page of Swords is also the message. You know, a message coming in, whether it's verbal, written, something where you get a better understanding of something that happened. Now, um, again, with that Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck and then this Five of Cups, it's like coming back around where, okay, I am healing. And the message, though, is making things clear to you on what you need to do. And it leads to the Eight of Cups. And I'm going to clarify this because it's definitely about turning your back, you know, but what are you turning your back on? What are you walking away from? And what are you walking towards, right? Tell me about this Eight of Cups, please. What is the Eight of Cups? Lovers, Hermit, King of Pentacles. I think I honestly feel like if you've been searching for something, the search is over. And it came from a partnership for sure with the Lovers. And then the Hermit, that time, that if you've had to have, and I feel like there has been time alone where you've been, you know, this is shining your light on what you really want. And what you really want is the King of Pentacles. And if you're a male, it's the Pentacle is more about someone who knows exactly what they want. They're stable. They're, you know, um, they have a job. You know, they're not a freeloader. They're not necessarily, you know, sometimes in relationships we just want to have fun, right? It's just about fun, and that's cool. That's okay. But when we see the Pentacles courts come in, the relationship then leads to, I want this to be more serious. I want it to be grounded. I want it to be long lasting. Yeah, the passion is fun. Yes, the, you know, the newness is fun and all those things. But this is more about wanting something stable, and that's what you're walking towards. I want something that's stable, which again was that Six of Swords too. You know that you want something that is more stable here for sure, definitely. We have the Six of Cups and the advice now. You know, using the past to learn from the past. Now, again, I don't want to say that a situation that comes back around from the past doesn't mean it's going to be exactly like the past. That's first, because it's not like any time has gone by, and if there's been a separation for a while and time has gone by, it is not going to be exactly the same. However, it's okay to know that you have learned from the past and what you want to do differently, and and to understand that. And I think it's quite all right to go, I'm doing this differently this time. Is there anything else we need to know? Nine of Swords, King of Swords, Three of Cups. So I feel like we got those yesterday. Like that combination feels very familiar to me. Um, you know, being stressed, there's something here with a King of Swords. Like something was said to you, like someone, yeah. But I feel like you've gone from the stress to, well, you know, I mean, it definitely could be just feeling, you know, knowing what you want to do and where you want to go and celebrating that. I get the feeling that you know what you want from what's happened here because you don't want it to be like the past. You don't want to be hurt again. You don't want to fall into a trap or what you feel like may be a trap. It may not be, but you may feel that way. And so you're really looking at doing things differently. And I think that is also what can be what that King of Swords is. I don't want to be stressed out. I want to figure out what I want to do, and I want to be around people that I can celebrate with and that make me happy. So there's that feeling of which way do I go in this with this situation, and it's kind of leading you to that, like how to do that. And I feel like overall though, you can celebrate. You will be around the people that make you feel good. The Three of Cups people. So there you have your reading for today. I hope you liked it. Take care. Have a beautiful day.